Hi there, this is Matthew Peters, co-author of Don't Own, Don't Rent, Live Well, and the co-founder of the Community Executive Academy. And I wanted to show you, really it's a month in the life of my job. Because you would think about a day in the life, but really this is a month in the life of me as a resident manager, and my wife is a resident manager, Fiona. So I'm going to show you my job. So some of the responsibilities I have here is to make sure this area is clean. So I don't do any of the raking. I just look for junk, make sure the junk is picked up. I do that once or twice a week. This is 34 units. So there's 3 buildings. They're big buildings. 34 units. It's a mix of 2 bedrooms and 3 bedrooms. And I guess it's pretty basic. What we do, my job right now is to make sure that the property looks clean, the residents are happy with maintenance, and that all the apartments are full. And it's a bonus if we can get our apartments to go for market rate or above, and which they all are, which is really nice that we've established such a community that it's so desirable that people are paying the highest for a 3-bedroom or a 2-bedroom in our area for what we offer. So here's just looking down parking lot here. One of the things I did was, to do some initiative things, just little things. Like we had all the doors painted blue, and stop sign here and slow here because we just had people that are going too fast, just to remind people. That wasn't something that the owner asked us to do. We actually asked the owner if we could have it done, because one of our jobs here as a community executive is to act like an owner, act like this is our property. When we have something done, what is that return on investment? Okay, so as a community executive, you're really preparing yourself to be a landlord of your own properties. You're learning the skills of what does it take to run a property successfully, how do you market it successfully. But the biggest thing about community executive is learning how to leverage your time. Because a lot of resident managers, they sit on their couch watching TV, waiting for the phone to ring, waiting for someone to stop by to show them their apartment. We don't do that. All right, this is the professional way of doing it. It's kind of like, if you're familiar with Tim Ferriss and the 4-Hour Work Week, it's like life hacking, where you find out what's so important to do that, the 80-20% rule, and then you neglect or ignore the things that aren't necessary. So many resident managers do all this stuff that is not necessary, and it takes such a huge part of their life that they get lost in it, and they just kind of get tied down, like they feel like they can't take a vacation, they can't leave, they can't trust anybody else to do what they can do. And that's not the case. We outsource things. We automate things. I mean, if you look at our book, Don't Own, Don't Rent, Live Well, we go through all of that stuff. And we have our online academy, Community Executive Academy, where we show you how we've done all of that. So I wanted to show you the back of our property here. We have a grounds crew that takes care of all the leaves. So we have the leaves here. They just did this last week, but it's a few days after Halloween, and it's a beautiful day on the property here. But people have their Halloween decorations out, and the leaves are still falling, so they'll be back to finish that up. They trim the bushes, they trim the trees. I don't do any of that. We don't do any maintenance, so I don't handle maintenance issues myself. People will call us, and those maintenance issues are just relayed from us to the maintenance team. I don't have emergency maintenance either, so I don't get calls in the middle of the night saying, there's a problem with my toilet. I don't get those. We have an emergency maintenance phone number they call, and if it's a non-emergency, they just leave a message for us on our phone. And when we get home about 4 to 4:30, or whenever we feel like it during the day, we check those voice messages, and then we forward those on. Now we've worked it out with the maintenance team that we actually would just text them. We used to write up maintenance orders. Now they do the maintenance orders. We just text them saying, hey, 1711 has an issue with their hot water heater. Please go check it out. Here's their phone number. Stuff like that. You figure out how to automate things, how to simplify things. Don't make your job overly complex. So if you're familiar with our book, or you're familiar with how we do this, we've got a 34-unit apartment complex. It's full all the time. We have waiting lists. And we rent up the whole apartment complex. Like last year, we had 10 vacancies coming up because everybody was buying a house because the housing market was, houses are so cheap that people were buying houses. We had 10 vacancies out of 34, and we rented them all up in 2 weekends in the spring. And now for next year, 2012 fall, we have a waiting list. I mean, where else do you see that? And the fact that my job right here is to walk the property, make sure it's clean, take the calls from residents who have maintenance issues and forward them, and then showing the apartments, marketing the apartments, and we do all of that 2 weekends a year, and it's full. Do you think that the owner appreciates the job we're doing? Absolutely, absolutely. It's costing him less than to have a property management company come out and once in a while come out here and do this stuff. See, when you're on site, you have a vested interest in your community. It's your direct responsibility that everything goes on the right way here because you set the tone. You set how people contact you. They don't have our cell phone numbers. They call and leave a message. And on that voicemail, we have all of the information they need. If this is a maintenance emergency, call this other number. If this is a maintenance issue that's non-emergency, leave a message. If you're looking for an apartment, here's what we have available, when it's available. Go to our website. Then the website answers a bunch of questions. See, the problem is a lot of resident managers don't have any system. So when someone calls, they just go through the whole list of things that they tell everybody the same thing every time. And I mean, when we're showing apartments, we had 12 viewings, one right after another, every 15 minutes. You see one car pull up a little early, and then the next person comes in, and they're looking at an apartment, and the other people are waiting to see it. And you say, oh, by the way, here's the lease, or here's the application. We have 3 available, and I'm showing this 12 times today and 8 times tomorrow. If you're interested in this, I would jump on it right away. Now, there's so much urgency there that it's not a false urgency. That's what we have. And we've had people waiting to see these apartments, but they're having to wait for that specific weekend. So we tell people when they can come see it, and it adds so much exclusivity that they take us up on it. And it's a great apartment, it's a great community, and we designed it that way, and we have a maintenance team that is responsive, so it makes it desirable. So let me just show you the other part of our job. And like I said before, one of the things is just making suggestions to the owner. The owner is in Florida a lot of the year, and he's out at other properties. You know, he likes the fact that someone's here looking after his property. That's all they want. Are you looking after my property? Do you have my best interest in mind? And when you can offer that kind of value, they will cherish you. They will keep you. You're not the person they're tolerating, they're the person they desire. So many resident managers are just being tolerated because they're afraid of hiring somebody else, training somebody else. Are they going to rip me off? Are they going to just be a just sit on their butts and not do anything, be a freeloader? There's so many resident managers that are just freeloaders. They're not doing anything. But why would we keep busy to do the same things we can do automated and outsourced and we have processes for, we have systems for. So I'm going to show you, here's our, we have pictures of this online, but this is our apartment. It's a 3-bedroom, 1,500 square foot apartment, 1 3/4 bath. Got a little fenced in backyard here. Our kids can play. We have 2 children. We moved in here, we didn't have any children. We've been here for almost 7 years. We now have a 3-year-old and a 5-year-old, just turned 5, and they grew up here. This is home to them. You know, we came from a 3-bedroom house, and I was literally spending 3 times as much, well, a lot more than that now because we've automated so much. I was spending so much time every weekend fixing the house. I was spending so much time shoveling the driveway, shoveling the walkway. I had to go up on the roof and blow leaves off because we had a really flat roof. I was going to Home Depot or Menards all the time to get stuff to fix the house. I don't have to do that here. If the refrigerator breaks, if there's a problem outside, I call somebody and they take care of it. It doesn't cost me anything because it's not my property. That $1,150 that we would have to pay every month for this property, we don't pay that. That goes other places. That goes towards our vacations. That goes towards our future. that goes towards investing in our businesses and all kinds of investments. So we've been doing this for over 10 years now, and we've calculated we've saved over $135,000 in rent, in our utilities. The last place we paid no utilities is completely free. No parking, no gas, no electric, no phone. I mean, everything was completely free. And it was just, there's amazing positions out here like this. They're looking for people like you who are hungry, who are responsible, and who have just a hint of professionalism in them. They don't want the freeloaders, all right? So if you're not a freeloader and you have a system, they'll love you. All right, just do the work and do it well and show them how you're doing it well and you're thinking on their behalf all the time. Doesn't mean you're working 20 to 40 hours a week, because there's positions out there saying free rent as a resident manager, and they tell you this whole list of things you need to do. It's going to take you 20 to 30 hours a week. Are you really getting your money back out of that? If you can't find a way to highly leverage it, where you're working 2 hours a week or 4 hours a week for $1,000 rent, really consider, is it worth $6 an hour? Really, if you think about it, $6 an hour to get free rent. I mean, we work literally 1 hour to 4 hours, and then in that 1 month where it's our high season where we do the renting, we maybe work 8 hours in a month for $1,150 in rent. And the other thing I want you to think about is when you are working a job and paying for your house mortgage, or you're paying for your rent, you had to make the money for the taxes too. Then the taxes are taken off. You work those hours for the taxes. And then what's left over, that's what you pay your house for, your mortgage, and your property taxes and such. And so don't think that you can't do this if you're a couple. Don't think you can't do this if you own a home. We rented out our home and we moved in here. So we became landlords of another property. We became real estate investors. We had tenants of our own while we were working here for free, getting free rent. And the people that were living at our house were actually paying $500 above and beyond what our mortgage and taxes were. So when we moved in here, think we're homeowners. We moved into an apartment. We kept the home. We didn't have to apply for a loan to buy a house. We wouldn't have qualified because we were making very, very little money, and we had terrible credit we're still trying to get out of. So they would not have let us get another house. Okay? So we became resident managers and owners of another property overnight. And we had people that were paying us $500 above and beyond what we were paying for our rent and mortgage. So a lot of things that people have as objections to becoming resident managers are really false objections. Thinking that it's going to take all your time, thinking that you're going to have to walk around the property looking with a big ring of keys and a toilet plunger looking for things to do, or people are going to call you in the middle of the night fixing their toilets. That's all BS. All right, that's not the life of a resident manager. Matter of fact, if it is the life of a resident manager that you're in the wrong position, because you didn't negotiate properly. That's one of the things we teach you in our book and online, is how do you set up your negotiations, knowing exactly what you want and go after it. All right, that's what we teach. We don't teach someone how to sit at home and wait for the phone to ring. Matter of fact, we keep this property full all year round. We have a waiting list. We're the top of the price range in the all of the properties in the area because we made it highly desirable. Coming from when we came here were 7 vacancies. All right? And I got to tell you, we don't answer the phone. The phone call, if I don't know who it is, I'm not picking it up. Because we have a system for answering the phone calls. They don't have my cell phone number. When we get emails, people email us asking for things. Then that's how we take care of it, is through email. We have a website. We have voicemail. We have email. We set up the systems. That's what we teach, is setting up the systems. Think Tim Ferriss. All right, Tim Ferriss, your resident management experience. Become a community executive and be the executive of the property, making sure things go down right. You know what I'm saying? So I'll just show you. Here's our kitchen. We were here for 5 years, and we asked for them to paint our whole apartment, replace our carpet. They got us new flooring, and I mean, it's just amazing. We work for an amazing property management company. They want to keep us. They want to hire people like you. They want to keep people like you, people who are excited about life, people who want to go places, people who aren't freeloaders. All right, they're just looking for people who are hungry. Let me just show you the other part of our job. So here's our phone. People call us with their they've got some maintenance issue, all right? And we've got this book here. Write it down in the book. I'll just say the time they called, their apartment, name, what's the message, and what we do is we have the phone numbers of our maintenance team, and we just text them. We can email them. We can text them what the issue is. We used to have the triplicate form. Actually, in our book, we talk about using a triplicate form, so you fill out this little form. Well, if your maintenance team is set up properly, they can just take a text, and you say, hey, here's the issue, and text it to them, and then they'll write up the form when they get there. So think creatively and know what it is that you want out of your position. So many people in life just don't know what they want. And so that's when they look for a resident manager position, they take the first thing they see. Don't take the first thing you see unless you just found you struck gold. So we teach people now that they need to, go onto all the websites, find out what's available, but also you need to network in, because your uncle knows somebody who owns a property management company. Your grandfather was a part of the Elks Club, and half the guys in the Elks Club have some kind of real estate that they own. And you have that connection already. It's the networking. All right? You have Facebook. You have 1,000 friends on Facebook. How about sending something out to everyone saying, listen, this is what I'm looking for. Do you know anybody like this? So you come from a very different position saying, hey, I know so-and-so who knows you, and I'm taking this course, and here's what I really would love to do for your property. As a matter of fact, I looked at your property. I think you could actually just do this and this. It costs you very little, and you could get that place filled up, and I'd love to do that for you. How is that different than you going to looking for an ad? May not be something exactly what you want, but you find it, and you answer that ad, and it's not exactly what you wanted. It's not in the neighborhood you wanted, and now you're competing with a bunch of other people for that same position. Think about networking in where they may already have a resident manager who's really lousy, and you come in. You're the new thing. You're the new person who has some energy to you. All right? There's so much I'd love to teach you. If you have any questions, go ahead and email me, or actually just put them right below here in the comments area, and I'll answer your questions personally, either myself or Fiona. We're here to help you. If you want to check out our book, you can go to don'towndon'trent.com. Get our book from Amazon. It's available worldwide. It was a bestseller. So go get Don't Own, Don't Rent, Live Well. And or you can go to commexacademy.com, COMMEX academy.com, and go there, and we have an opt-in form, which is basically, if you want more of these type of videos, I have a bunch of videos. I'd love to send them to you. All right, so I'd love to get you more information. Go ahead and just leave me some comments or questions down below, and I'd love to open the dialogue with you. Take care.